Hold on, I need to make sure this works properly. Testing, testing. No? The fuck? Okay. I have another way to get the link. Let's fucking go, bitch. My channel. I swear I'll actually do something soon. Copy link address. There we go. Okay. Okay. Let's see how this train wreck goes. Okay, so who shall I edit today? You know, I have quite a few to choose from actually. So let's look. Ignore the random things in here. I also saved other edits that people have done because they're good. Oh, this is a Chiaki one I made. I'm proud of that. You know what? This one's adorable. Even though I saved Pirate Umi earlier. I was gonna do a Kaide one, but let's see. No one's in here quite yet. That's fine. I'll just go ahead and start working. Okay, let's see. I hope this music doesn't earn copyright because I looked up no copyright specifically for this and it would just be a pain in the butt. I'm gonna try, even though I swore earlier, I'm gonna try not to swear from this point on. It's gonna be difficult because I swear like a sailor, but I've tried. Ooh, that worked out better than I thought it would. Okay. Let's see. I should do the outline of the hair first. Let's check Discord. Nope. Chat? Nope. Okay. Do the outline of the... mouse likes to double click. Ever wondered what Couture would look like with blue eyes? Now you know. Pretty, actually. She looks better with blue eyes than her actual eye color. I'm just doing the outline of the hair so it's easier to kind of select everything. That way when I mess with it, it'll just be easy to it'll just be a lot easier on me. Trust me, my process is very strange, but it's something, and I'm proud of my work to an extent. I may do at least 2 to 3 edits, honestly, because it just really depends on how I'm feeling by the end of this. Should I be lazy and just kind of let her hair be covered up? Yeah, I'll be a little lazy today, even though I really shouldn't. And yes, I do everything with a mouse. It's tedious. It's just very tedious and kind of annoying, but That's something. I work with it. I do my very best. Oh, that's so good. Hi, welcome, by the way. But yeah, it's an adorable Katori card, honestly. I just now looked into the chat. I will be looking in every once in a while. I hope the audio isn't doubling up for some reason, because I had that issue last time I did a stream when I played Dragon Quest IX. So if there's something up, let me know. Unless everything sounds fine, then I'm going to just kind of continue on. Because if there is something wrong, I'll go ahead and fix it. This is actually gonna look adorable when I'm done with this, actually, because I'm doing an edit for one of my OCs. Her name's Lena. Despite the spelling, yes, that's how you pronounce it. Fun fact, her name is derived from my dead name. You can take a good guess on what it is, but I'm not telling you. Unless you figure it out, then I'll let you know. So if you can figure out what my dead name is, or if you figure out what Lena's full name is, and if you guess enough times, like if you give up on guessing, I'll tell you, because in all honesty, I hate guessing games too. So I don't want to leave y'all hanging. Oh, hi. I'm just doing some sprite editing. So people were asking me about, like, cause last night someone asked if I could do a tutorial video, and I was like, you know what? Instead of that, I'm just gonna stream, because streaming is a lot more fun, in all honesty. Oh, what the heck did this do? Okay. So I'm just doing some editing here, and I'm trying my best. What am I doing? My best. Sometimes my mouse likes to double click, so it doesn't like to do the things I want it to. Nah. Screw it. Okay. Nah. My mouse hates me. It really does hate me. Hold on, I have an idea. Just go from here. Okay. I found the direct shape of her head now. Let's see. Yep, that looks good. That's good. Yeah, I mostly just redraw the hair, because it's just easier to select like that. And then other times I will change colors with just selecting everything out, like using the selection tool, and I hand select everything since I'm using Psy. I would use Photoshop for my edits, but I'm not very good with Photoshop other than just making like PSDs for icons, or like I'll show you later, because I will be using Photoshop in this video at some point. A lot of people like will be like, oh, well, that's a lot of work for an edit, and I'm just like, the work is worth putting in. Like, it really, really is. It's tedious, and my process is very annoying, or at least it can be. And sometimes you have to do extra work, like editing skin tone and such, and like if you want to edit the clothes, you can. And I prefer to do just transparent edits. I'm not very good with ones with backgrounds quite yet. There's one that I did, actually, that it's on my Twitter, which is a Prower Bun. And I post quite a few of my edits on there as well. So if you guys do have a request, I also do MMD videos. So if you guys have a request, feel free to let me know. I'll gladly take them, because in all honesty, I'm not really doing anything, so I really don't mind. It'll give me something to do I don't really have a job or anything because I'm still trying to get my life together. I mean, I only just graduated high school. I kind of need a break, you know? I need a break from the educational system. It took a big toll on my mental health, so I'm just kind of here. So I have a lot of time on my hands. But yeah, if the audio is doing a weird thing, please let me know, because I had that issue the last stream I was doing, and I'm pretty sure I fixed it. I have no idea. That's up for you guys. If it sounds like there's two of me, please let me know, because then I can fix it. I mean, I'm pretty sure I fixed it. So it's just the last time I did a stream, I didn't even notice the mistake. So it was very embarrassing. So I have the stream unlisted. Oh. Oh, come on, mouse. I need a new mouse. I'm probably gonna ask for one at some point because this one has been double clicking when I would just single click, like you guys are seeing here. And it's very irritating. It's kind of difficult to work with. And also, I mostly just kind of redraw Kotori's hair sometimes, except for like the side. Okay, Kotori looks a lot better without this side ponytail here. Like, seriously, it's cute, but Kotori, you look so much better with just your hair down, girl. Yeah, it's nice to just have some time to just spend to yourself and get your peace of mind. I actually had just gotten home from hanging out with some friends last night. So my absence was scarce for the past 2 days, and something very interesting happened, and if you guys are curious, I'll tell you the story, because it's very interesting indeed. Okay, thank you very much for joining me for now. Okay. Also, for publicity notice, I am running a Love Life cover group, but it's for the Danganronpa ladies. So basically, imagine Danganronpa girls in a Love Life thing, like literally in an idol group, a school idol group with Danganronpa people. Yeah, just imagine that. We're still looking for 2 final people to be, since we are looking for an Anji Yonaga and a Sayaka Maizono. And we all know Sayaka was just a given for this. So, regarding mic quality, as long as you can use your phone, as long as there is minimal background noise, we are fine. Which is very interesting because I come from the Yutaite community and they care. Pardon me. They care a lot about mic quality there, so it's very difficult for me to be slightly more lenient with it. But I'm trying my best. If you guys want any sort of advice when it comes to singing, I'm not a professional, but I can help you to the best of my abilities. Okay, here comes the weird part. So I select out here so I can invert the selection later, because it's actually a lot easier and a lot quicker if you do it like this. Sometimes you kind of have to go through and hand select it like how I'm doing here. If the corners are like a little, if it's, you know, doing this. So, this is a trick I use often. So when you select everything else, you don't change anything else here, but you'll see what I'm about to do. So when everything else is selected, so basically the entirety of the outside, let's see here. Let's see, did I miss anything? Yes. I'm gonna hand select that. I also may change the color of the coat just to show you guys how I do that as well. So I'll gladly do that for you. I always end up missing something and going back to it later because my eyesight is, I have visual impairments, so I'm doing my very best here, which is why I'm always like coming in very close to the image, but that's just because I physically need to. You don't necessarily have to do this, but it's just something that I need to do for the sake of my eyes. So when you select everything here, like on the outside, so when you do that, you go here to the selection area and then invert. And then you go to this layer here. You might not be able to see it. I might have to move the chat layer. Oh no, you can see it. Okay, good. May have to make the chat a little smaller, so I'm gonna do that really quick. Okay, there we go. So when you're on the layer that the sprite itself is on, you go to the filter tab, and I start by changing the color, like so. So I change it to the around the area and the ooh, that's a cute color on Katori. Look at her. Look at Katori with orange hair. That is so fucking pretty. Oh, I swore. Sorry. I swear like a sailor off streams and such. I try really hard not to, but she looks so pretty with the hair color. Hold up, let me look. Now she has Honika hair. Okay, I'm messing around. Enough of that. So, whenever you do that, then you go to brightness and contrast. So you make the brightness a little, and then the contrast, and you just kind of keep messing with that until it looks right to you. Sometimes it kind of messes it up, like look at what it's doing here to the image. It will make it very grainy, and I don't normally like that, so that's why I usually end up recoloring the hair, which I'll show you that process soon. I kind of go back and forth between these a few times to get it right, but this is about the hair color that I usually pick for Lena. This very, very nice shade of pink. So that's a thing. Okay, so see how all this is here, right? Well, you make another layer, you teardrop the color, so you gotta be pretty careful because since it's all grainy and such, you could basically end up picking any of these colors here. Like for example, you end up with this when you go here, or you end up with this when you go here. So you're gonna want to find an area in the hair that looks somewhat clear, because that's the biggest thing about this. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna recolor, I'm gonna be honest here, I end up recoloring the entire thing. Like, I normally do it like this. And you'll see what I'm going to do here. I erase everything after, but you'll understand what I'm doing in a moment. I used to actually do it somewhat differently. Like, I would do the shading first sometimes. Oh goodness, I'll fix that. I'll fix that. Like I said, I always have to go back and do things. But, okay. Make sure to hide that layer here. Go here. There we go. And then I kind of start doing the shading like this. and it's going to be a little difficult to see, so that's why you want to constantly put this layer on and off and see just what you're doing here, like so. Unless you want to do it like this and lower the opacity of the original sprite layer for a moment. It's going to look kind of weird, I know, but it's something. It's something and it helps. So that way when you're coloring in the shading, it doesn't completely blend in and it doesn't like, see? Because it's kind of hard to see. So, or at least for me. So I do it like this. And I'll probably be doing, like I said, I'll probably be doing like 2 to 3 edits today, considering like, depending on the audience I get, because I know quite a few people, not really quite a few, but some people were really requesting this. And I'm happy to do this for you guys, so I really don't mind. A lot of people find that this, like I said, like, I'm gonna repeat myself a couple of times, I'm so sorry. But a lot of people think that recoloring things and redrawing things is just too tedious, and it's like, it's worth the effort. I promise you. It is most definitely worth the effort. Because once you're done, you're gonna feel tired, but you're going to be at least satisfied with the work that you've done. It's, to me, it's worth doing the extra work because it makes me feel like I'm putting in more effort than I would have if I had just messed with the contrast and the and everything and left it at that, and like did like some minor like coloring things and left it at that. Like I did that with the Anji Yonaga edit that I did for since our I'm pretty sure for those who were in the Sprite editing server, you guys can already tell what our first song is going to be once we have everybody casted and once we get everything in order. You can already tell what our first song is going to be. So I guess I'll just go ahead and say it. We're doing Aquarium. I just kind of called Aquarium rather than its full title because it's shorter and easier. And I'm kind of lazy. Oops. I should move my other mic closer to me, but lazy. And I'm pretty sure you guys can hear me just fine because this mic is very sensitive. I have a Yeti, and warning, people on the casting club community, or at least the elitists, they make fun of people with blue products, and I'm just like, wow guys, that's kind of rude. Like that's kind of all they could afford at the moment, and they're decent. They are decent at best. So just come on, don't do that. People are trying their best. People are going to, like, some people just don't have the money for all that good stuff yet. I know I will eventually upgrade, but don't sit there and make fun of them and call them quote-unquote normies and stuff, because that's just really rude. Like, that hurt my feelings whenever it happened to me. I didn't like it at all. I'm just like, this is all I could afford for now. And I also got this mic for my birthday, so I have an emotional attachment to it. Like, I got it for my 20th birthday. I'm 20 now. And for people to make fun of that, it stings. So don't do that. It makes you look like, I'm gonna be blunt, it makes you look like a dick. So yeah. Anyway, I digress. So yeah, this process is a little tedious, but I am fond of how I do my work. Like, if you see here, it's looking like this right now. And I'll fix that part up soon because that looks really incomplete to me. But yeah, I am working on it. It's kind of difficult to do some of these edits sometimes. Like, okay, I do not understand how people do the ones with backgrounds. Like, I have not yet mastered those. I accidentally clicked over there. I have not yet mastered those. I only did it once. It was very difficult, and I did it for a, for the, Christmas set, I'd like to say, for Muse. Yeah, I edited for somebody's OC, for one of my friend's OCs. Like I said, I should have put my Twitter in the description, and I didn't, but it's Prower Bun. It's spelled exactly how it sounds, I promise. So, yeah, I post my edits there. If you want to look at them, you can. I'm fine with that. That'll honestly encourage me to post more of my edits on there. Because I don't do it very often, and I just do every once in a while, but it would definitely encourage me to, like, if more people want to see them on Twitter, I will post them, basically. And that's basically my policy with it. If people want to see them, I'll post them. Sometimes I post them on a whim, but that's just because I want to. But if people really want to see them, I will do it more often. Like, basically every time I make an edit, I'll be like, hey, it's here. But I also put all of my edits, or at least like a majority of them, in the Love Live School Idol Festival Sprite edit server. That is hosted by the 9 Mermaids. They're wonderful people, by the way. I would really suggest looking at their channel. They are wonderful people. They're amazing. They're all talented. They're wonderful vocalists and wonderful people, and it's worth meeting them and getting to interact with them because they're genuinely great, and they worked really hard to get as far as they did. A lot of people say it's luck, but that stuff is hard work, and it is a little intimidating as someone. I'm part of a Siren song. It's a little intimidating, yes, but when you think about it, they're just like the rest of us. So if you think about it in the mindset of, hey, they're working just as hard as we are, then it's okay. Because we may not be at their level yet, but we will get there eventually. And that's what I like to believe in. So let me check the chat. Okay, nothing going on in the chat. So I may have a small audience, but that's fine. I'll be doing, if too many people don't really come in, I'll just do this edit and be done, because I really am just showing off the process. I'll probably do more edits off screen, since I tend to do that a lot, and I'm not really used to talking while I'm editing. Admittedly, like, this is very nerve-wracking for me because I just normally don't talk while I'm editing because I'm trying to hyper-focus, so I'm a little sidetracked, but I don't necessarily mind because I want to interact with you guys. I want to talk with you guys more and develop maybe even a small fan base, because I'm very... When I first entered the Utah Day community, I promised myself, hey, I'm going to be really interactive with my fan base if I get one. And I did have a very small fan base, and I loved them to bits. They were wonderful people. Like, I felt blessed. I'm not even religious, and I felt blessed. I was just really happy that I had such a nice fan base. Like, they even felt like really, they were wonderful people. I loved talking to them. I never really go on my old Twitter anymore, where I originally had the fan base, because I changed my alias and everything. And as you can probably guess from the title of this channel, you probably already took a good guess on what my alias was, and I will gladly tell you, if you ask. But my current alias is LLSIF, and I do have a separate channel. I mostly do streaming for this channel, like on this channel though, because I already have the stream key hooked up to OBS Studio, and I really don't feel like changing it. That's really tedious, honestly. Like, setting this up was a pain to do. Worth it, but a pain. So, yeah. I don't really feel like setting it up on my other channel. I decided to just use this one because I like to think of this one as my personal YouTube. So, like, one where I don't really post my singing, but I post anything else, like memes or MMD videos, because I got into MMD videos because I was just bored and I wanted to do something else other than my singing in case my singing thing doesn't really work out. Because, like, the Utaite community is no doubt very toxic. No doubt about that. Also, I think I'm done shading. Yay, so I can bring back this opacity. I can bring back this layer, and ta-da! Shading, done. So, yeah, but the Utaite community is very, very, very much toxic. And, okay, before I'm gonna get off topic for a moment. So, okay, I just made a new layer, and to do the shine in the hair, I change this from normal to lemon shade, or Lumion shade? I don't really know. I can't really read it. I don't really. But I just kind of do this, and it's pretty self-explanatory, but I'll explain it for you anyhow. So I just do all this here, and then I scroll down a bit. I go to the blur tool, and you see how it's starting out very bright? Yeah, that's how it's going to look until you bring down the opacity a bit, which you are supposed to do for these, because if these are far too bright, it's not good, and it kind of hurts the eyes. So bring down the opacity a nudge. Maybe do a little bit more blurring if you feel it necessary. Do this here. Yeah, if only if you feel it necessary. Just use the blur tool a little bit more. Bring the opacity down, but not too low. Like, you still want this to be visible. So, like that. You still want the shine in the hair to be visible. So, bring the opacity down to at least somewhere in the 30s. If a little bit lower, the 20s, but the 30s is the extent. Because it's visible, but not too visible. Somewhere in the 50s, like say around here, still too bright. You gotta bring it down a bit. Or at least that's what I do. You don't necessarily have to follow my advice, just do whatever works for you, but this is just how I do it. And then make another layer. Do the same thing, except you make the brush really small, and then you do this. So, merp, merp, merp. Yeah, I make noises. So, when you do that, and then you also want to do that here probably, only if you really want to. I'm probably just, yeah, here looks better. As well as here, just a little bit of shading there, but you know what? No one's gonna notice that. No one's gonna notice that unless they look really closely. My voice just got incredibly squeaky. So, and then you bring the opacity down here a lot. Somewhere in the 20s is fine. See, depending on how light or dark the hair, the opacity for this is going to be very much, like, your settings and such are going to be very much different. Like, very much so. But Lena, her very light pink hair, as you can see. So, let me check Discord. Oh, I got a message. Oh, okay, it was from Emmy. But yeah. Oh my god. This is what I get for looking on Minecraft. Okay. Or looking at the... I have friends that play Minecraft. Anyway. No one's really talking in the chat. That's unfortunate. I guess I don't have that many people here. which is kind of sad because I'd like a bigger audience to watching. Anyhow. Okay, so before I segue, again, for like the millionth time, the hair is basically done. So you can deselect that. What I do here is make a layer above the lining, make sure to press or click clipping group, and make this a little darker and such. Mess with it how you'd like. Get a big brush, and you do this to change the color of the line art. And make sure you have the clipping group on, because if you don't, it looks like this. Yeah, make sure to have the clipping mask on. That's really, really, really important. The clipping mask is probably the most important thing about this part. And that's basically it. So, before I start messing with the color of the coat and the leftover things on her face, I'm going to... Actually, hold on. Before I do that, let me go above the line art one more time. No, it'll do clipping group, never mind. Above the clipping group, actually. So, actually, no, you want the line tool for this. You're gonna want the line tool because you're gonna have to teardrop this. So, you see like these stray hairs here that tend to kind of be there a lot in Love Live edits, or not edits, but in Love Live cards. Yeah, this is why you want the line tool. So you can go over that. It makes it look better when you erase it and a little bit more official. Sometimes I forget to do this, and that's just because I'm very forgetful. I have the memory of a goldfish, and goldfish kind of lose their memories every 7 seconds. That's a little over exaggerating for me, but I'm just trying to explain how forgetful I am, and I'm just kind of making matters worse. I'm so sorry. But yeah, this is why you're going to want the line tool here. It's very important. So you just use this. And there you go. So you go back to the original layer where the sprite itself is, and then you just start erasing. You start erasing underneath the hair and such. Make sure that you don't accidentally erase anything else but the hair. Trust me, I've done that. It's embarrassing, it's a little awkward, and it kind of messes it up, but luckily Control-Z is my friend. When you have the Control-Z function, it reverses it like this. Yeah, it does that. See? Like that. And it makes your life so much easier. And luckily, since I recolored the hair, I can freely do this. And it won't look weird, because I recolored the hair. Yay! Sometimes you're gonna have to make the eraser a little bit smaller just to get certain areas, because if you use a big eraser, sometimes you're just not gonna be able to get it right, I guess. If that's how you want to word it. I don't exactly know how I want to word it, but if you don't want to accidentally erase something you don't want to, rather. So, as I'm doing this little process here, I'm also going to go back and get things that I missed or anything that is still kind of there, because the shading's a little messy, as you can see. My edits aren't perfect, but they're something. Look, she's looking cute. Okay, find out which layer is which. This is the shading. So you grab the shading, you teardrop that color again, and then you basically just color in everything that you missed. It's advised, very much advised, because people will find those mistakes and nitpick at you so hard if you don't correct them. It's very embarrassing. Either that, or you'll look back at the edit very closely and you'll actually point out the mistakes yourself and be like, oh boy. So that's a fun time. A very fun time. And you want to be careful here because the hair is no longer selected at this point. So you have to be really careful on what you're doing here. So I'm going back and getting everything I missed. I also have to erase some things that are still kind of there, like little parts in the hair that were still like selected earlier. I also want to put a little shading here. There we go, that looks better. Fix that here. And luckily, I'll end up moving the shading. Actually, move the shading above the lighter layer where you have this, because that's just kind of how they actually are, and it looks better actually. Like it just looks better. So, here, okay. Where else did I miss? I missed over here. Checking the chat, okay. I'll probably be doing streams more often if people request it, because I really don't mind showing you guys how I do different things. Like, I'll probably also just stream for the heck of it, like just because I can, solely because I can. And now time to go back and erase the things that are still here, like this and this. Yeah. Anything else? Anything else? Here. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. That's about it. So you go back to the original layer again. And since there's still like remnants of her original hair on her face, I guess I'll just do that. You teardrop the shading of her skin, and you're gonna have to probably tweak it a bit, maybe do a little bit of recoloring, because yeah, and probably do some more erasing. That's also a thing you might want to do. Back, color that in once more, just to kind of make that look a little cleaner. Okay. It's a bit of a pain when it comes to the blushing faces, because when it comes, like, I just kind of end up redoing the blush a lot of the time. You know, if her hair was blonde and maybe styled a little bit differently, she would look a lot like Colette Brunel from Tales of Symphonia, and I guess I did that on purpose. Because the Tales of series is actually one of my favorite things, or favorite series of games. Anyway, before I segue once again, so you just kind of do this here, and since, okay, up until the point where you get to the blush is when you're gonna want to get a different color. And you're also gonna want the blur tool. I promise you, this is advised. Like, this is, it's needed. It's very much needed. Trust me. So, it's a little around here. I'll probably just end up redrawing the little red lines, because I don't mind doing that. I really don't. So, that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. That's fine. Okay. While I am being somewhat quiet, you guys can listen to these snazzy tunes that I found that I have open in another tab. YouTube, please don't copyright strike me. Please, I beg of you. This stuff isn't mine, I just found it on another stream. I'm also gonna want to redraw her eyelash a little here. So just do this, cause it just makes your life more convenient. And it's, well, cheating! Not necessarily cheating actually, but I like to joke. So you just blur that a little bit. Kind of makes it look a little cleaner to some extent. Gonna have to do this. Get the shading in. Teardrop this. Another layer. Go back to the pen tool. And you just do that. And then you merge the layers. Actually, before you merge the layers, I'm gonna want to blur this a little bit more if in case you missed anything. Like, really, just in case, you're gonna want to blur it a little bit more, and probably just keep doing this, even though no one's really gonna notice when they look at it, because I don't like the pixelated look that they have. Gods. Okay. Now you merge the layers. And see how that looks. Ta-da! So, now to change the color of the coat. Oh boy. Let me check Discord. Okay. I'm just checking things. Oh, I should participate in the sprite editing challenges at some point. So, at this point, because the image is transparent, it won't really matter when you, accidentally select outside of the lines, but just be careful. Just be careful in case. You can never really be too sure. Just sometimes whenever I do this, I miss things, and it's kind of awkward, but I can go back and just fix it anyhow. It's never really too late to mix. It's, as long as you keep everything on a separate layer, it's never, ever, ever too late to fix any possible mistakes that you have made. I promise, it's never ever too late to fix any of those mistakes. Unless you've already, like, finished the image and just noticed it, you can always go back and tweak it a bit. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, it's don't be ashamed. It's okay, basically. Like, if you see anything and you realize you missed something, just fix it. Just because that makes it that just makes it all the more better, and you'll be satisfied with the work. Okay, around the button. This music is very nice. Anyway, you'll see what I'll be changing the color of the coat to soon enough. And I think depending on how light or dark you honestly, you know what, I'll wait until I get to the actual changing of the colors to explain it. Because if I go a little bit ahead of myself, you guys won't understand what I'm trying to say until I show you. So I'm just gonna wait. If I'm also kind of like taking like slight breaks, like if it seems like it's kind of stuck there for a second, that's just me taking a little break, checking messages, etc. Probably eating something. Actually, I think, yeah, my mother is home. It's past 6, so my mother's home. I think she's going to make food. So this may be the only edit that I do for tonight. And I can stream whenever you guys really want me to, because like I said, I have a lot of time on my hands. A lot of time. So I really don't mind. Maybe like a once a month thing, unless you guys want it to be like once a week. I can hold a poll, maybe. I'll just ask around. Nothing's really going on in here, so I'm gonna keep talking anyhow, because I'm gonna make sure to have this stream up on my channel. So if you guys ever want to just kind of use this as a tutorial video, it's fine. But this is how I do it with Paint Tool Sci. You know, like, people have different methods and people do things differently. So eventually I'll learn how to do this kind of stuff with backgrounds a lot better than I did before. Okay, back to the bigger selection brush. Since the hair is on a layer above, I don't need to worry about it changing color on me. Because as long as you're on the right layer when you're changing things, it's fine. Like, seriously, as long as you're clicked onto the correct layer, it won't change anything else as long as they're on a different layer or a layer above, rather. So just make sure that if you do it this way, make sure to have the layer above, because that's really important. And yes, I did just kind of click it on and off just to show you. So, let's see. Am I done selecting everything? Yes. Yes, I am. So that means I can grab this and do this. Ta-da! And then I'll just go back and get whatever I missed. So here. Here, I'm trying to be careful so I don't miss any spots, because it looks really awkward when you do. Okay. Yeah, that looks good. So I'm gonna leave the skirt as it is. But okay. So do this so you can see it clearly. grab the filter, change the color. Like that. To whatever you see fit. Gonna mess with the contrast a bit. And then go back to the filter and this, and do this. Ta-da! Now her coat is no longer pink, but a very light blue. And that's basically it. Yeah, I'm done with the edit. Other than I kind of like to do this and make the image look a little smaller. And you go to Canvas, copy or crop by selection, and then it does that. It crops it by how you selected it. Oh, make sure you go to selection and clear. And this is it. This is, yeah, it's done. It's done. So I will end the stream here. I'll post the edit. Actually, no, wait. I was gonna do something on Photoshop, so hold on. Let me save. So when you save the image, just name it whatever. Done on stream. Okay. I did a thing. Whoops, my hand slipped. Okay. Actually, no, wait. Yeah, I'll just end the stream here, actually. It's fine. I just go into Photoshop and put everything together that way anyway. I could do it on side, but I don't feel like it. So yeah, I will actually just end it here. I'll do another video, probably, on how I actually do the other process, but I don't feel like opening Photoshop. It's tedious. It takes a bit. So thanks for joining us, joining me, I guess. Only 2 people joined, but that's fine. Thank you anyhow. So, goodbye.